It is story time today, boys and girls of the fate. This is a story of over 20 years old. It is a story of Gob. Now, I'm not gonna use his real name, and like, he's a nice guy. Like, don't get me wrong. If you ever sees this video, you know, he's a nice guy. His brother was always pretty cool. But Gob, who was given that nickname by one of the guys that used to run one of the video game arcades in the city where I used to work back in the day, right? Late 90s. Or sort of mid to late 90s, right? He was called Gob because he fucking lied all the time about everything, right? He's like, everything he lied about. Everything. Okay? And we all became friends, and me and other dudes I know, we became friends because we'd hang out in the arcades and we'd play Mortal Kombat. You know, we'd start playing Mortal Kombat 2, and then MK3 Ultimate and stuff, and sometimes branch out to things like Killer Instinct, Street Fighter. You know, this was back in the day where, you know, someone would walk up and they put their, you know, their dollar coin, or in America, the quarter, they put it on the screen, right, to indicate that they were going to be challenging the next person, right? Great days. But Gob, right, was full of shit. Lied about everything, right? And I'm going to share some of those lies because he is absolutely the fucking Frank Dux of the fighting game genre, right? And I remember when we were playing Ultimate MK3, I remember distinctly, you went in the door of the arcade and you turned right and the machine for Ultimate MK3 was just there. You could always hear it when you're walking past. And I remember distinctly just waiting there, and we were talking to him and talking to friends, and he reckoned that he had played Mortal Kombat 4 before it was even thought of, right? With a straight face, just thought, it's just, oh yeah, I'll play Mortal Kombat 4. Right? I mean, like, we're not talking like teenagers here, right? Like, we're talking, you know, we're like at least, you know, into our 20s, give or take. You know, we're not fucking little kids even. And he would, like, God, man, like, for some reason, he just thought we'd buy it hook, line, and sinker. And I think ultimately, it was just because he wanted to look cool. But he didn't have to do anything to look cool. He was just, like, we liked talking to him. He was cool. But it just became, after a while, we just knew that he was just, like, making up crap. For example, he would always tell one of my friends, Jerry, he'd be like, I'm the best fucking Street Fighter player around. I'll beat the shit out of anyone, right? And so my friend Jerry would be like, oh, come on, challenge me, come on. Come over, you know, my place, come over Retro's place, and we'll sit down and we'll have a game of Street Fighter. And then one day, it worked out, right? I think I had, like, Super Street Fighter 2, version, like, on PlayStation 1. I think it was part of a collection. Anyway, and finally, both of them are in the same location after years and years of him saying that, you know, I could beat anyone at Street Fighter. He's the best Street Fighter person. Jerry's there. He's like, all right, I'm here now. Come on, Gob. Let's do it. And then they sit down and, you know, because one of Ryu's, like, special moves is the Dragon Punch. Okay? It's the Dragon Punch. He does the Dragon Punch, right? So they're sitting there playing. It was literally like first fucking round, like probably didn't last 20 seconds, right? And then my friend does the Dragon Punch, and Gob just goes. And my friend Jerry's like, "What are you doing, man?" Right? And Gob's like, "I don't play with cheaters." A fucking special move that is in the game is a cheat move from the guy that said he could beat anyone at Street Fighter. anyone at Street Fighter, the best Street Fighter around, right? And yet, as soon as like he gets hit with a dragon punch, he's like, "No, fuck that. No, I'm not playing with this. Cheating." Right? He probably thought you actually pressing a button would have been cheating, right? Oh shit, man, the fucking crap. Like, you know, because like he'd sometimes come to my house and his kid, like he had a computer, so you know, bring over his monitor, and the monitors were big back then, not like the slim shit that we got now, right? Like a fucking wafer biscuit, big ass heavy monitor and stuff. He'd bring it over, right, and he'd sit on it, and all he plays Might and Magic 3, and he had. He had 3 working buttons. 3. This is for real, because we tested it. 3 working buttons on the keyboard. And this dude was doing like one of those fucking pyramid scheme things at the time, but they couldn't call them pyramid schemes at the time, right? But they fucking were, right? They just sort of, they get out of the way slightly with how they do their business, but they absolutely were. And he was telling people he was earning $4,000 a week. So after a while, we're all sitting there going, man, why is it that you don't have a car, don't have a house, you're earning $4,000 a week, and your fucking keyboard has 3 working buttons, man? Right? This is what I mean, like, you know, like I said, he's a nice guy. I just, like, the desperation to just lie so much, right? To try and fit in when he didn't have to do any of that at all. He was just cool. Right? And then one time he had his girlfriend over, right? And she couldn't leave his side. She wasn't allowed to leave his side. And he wasn't like abusive or nothing, but she had to sit there on the ground, on the floor. So he's sitting in the chair, playing with his 3 keys, playing Might and Magic, right? Fucking getting a boner over it. She's sitting on the floor, and he's just patting her on the head. What the f... It's not a dog, bro. What the fuck, man? Right. Didn't last long, obviously. No one wants to sit on the fucking floor. Not go... Do you want a chair, hun? Would you like a chair? And just sit there and just pat your head. This is for real. Like, just fucking... Like, because me and my friends, like, used to hang out all the time. There's always big groups of us. Right? We just couldn't believe what we were seeing. But I can top this story. I can top all that shit, right? Because he literally went to the fucking Kumite, the Frank Dux Kumite of Mortal Kombat. He comes over one day, right? He's like, to me and Jerry, because me and Jerry, massive MK fans. He's like, he's like, this is serious face, man. Like, dead serious, like deadpan. And we got a Chinatown, like, in our city. You know, probably every fucking city's got like a, you know, like an Asian themed thing. So we got Chinatown, is what we call it, Chinatown, right? Great area. Anyway, he comes up to us. He's like, he's like, I can't even say this shit with a straight face. He's like, I'm partaking in a secret. This is no shit. This is about a video game. I am partaking in a secret Mortal Kombat underground tournament in Chinatown with the Asian folk. Right? Because I'm that good. And we're like, so me and Jerry are just looking at each other going, man, this, right? Fucking jeez, man. And we said, oh. And then he's like, hang on. And then he's like, I can get you an invite, but I'll have to find out. Now, keep in mind, Mortal Kombat wasn't a banned game. It's not like they were actually playing this in some underground arcade that, you know, you go there and you're playing all these banned games that couldn't make it into Australia, you know, and he was just talking. No, it was just fiction. Right? He probably literally watched Bloodsport and go, you know what? I'm going to go to my friend. I'm going to tell him that I'm the Frank Dukes of fighting games. Right? That only me have witnessed it. Because we'll be like, where it is. Oh, we'll just, you know, go. It says, no. It's invite only. Oh, man. Fucking hell, dude. Like I said, I'll leave it there. Like, I wanted to share that story because, like, I've been watching some stuff on Frank Dukes lately, and I suddenly realised that me and my friends, we actually knew a real-life Frank Dukes. Right? And if you don't know who Frank Dukes is the guy that claimed that he was part of some underground special martial art tournament called the Kumite, right, in Hong Kong, or Thailand, or wherever the fuck. Right? It turned out it was bullshit. But that's what Bloodsport, the movie, was based on. It was based on these stories that he'd said that were apparently true. It was not Van Damme's fault or anyone's like that. Great fucking movie. But bullshit. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. And catch you guys next time. See ya.